I'm gonna call our meeting to order, and we're gonna have the pledge of allegiance. I'm gonna ask Alderman Betts to lead us in the word of prayer.
Turn the heater down.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we again are grateful for the day that you've given to each of us. Grateful for a day of life. Grateful for the blessing of living in the country that we live in, the freedoms that we enjoy. And I pray, Lord, that we never take these for granted, that we always are thankful for what you do for us. Lord, there are people in our community who are hurting, loss of loved ones, those in accidents. And Lord, we pray for your healing and your comfort. May things be done to bring you honor and glory. Now, as we enter into the business of our town, we are thankful for the town that we live in, grateful for your blessings upon it. Help us, Lord, to conduct our business in orderly fashion. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, first thing we have is roll call.
Town of Vidalia Board of Aldermen roll call for the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen dated February 10th, 2026. Alderman Betts.
Present.
Alderman Gardner.
Here.
Alderman McCoy.
Present.
Alderman Probst.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Mayor, let the record show that a quorum of the board is present and accounted for.
Okay, first thing we need to do is approve our minutes from our last meeting. You have the minutes in front of you. Is there any questions?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I asked that the minutes be revised because it reflects me being absent. The meeting lasted about 15 minutes, and I sat down about a minute until we adjourned the meeting. When I looked at the alderman's ordinance salary, it does not reflect the time period that shows, for an example, if an alderman is not present a certain amount of time for the meeting, that they're considered absent. Plus, my salary needs to reflect the adjustment as well. I also stated that I was running late from a doctor's appointment on that day, and that's why I got here at that time. But yes, I have the ordinance in front of me, and it does not state a certain time frame that we need to be here to be considered present. I was here and I sat down before the adjournment of that meeting.
Okay. All right. You had your say. Number one, I guess I'll go to our clerk. During roll call, was Alderman Gardner present?
He was not.
During any of the action items that were voted on that was heard before this body, was he present to vote on those action items?
He was not.
Okay. The meetings, you showed up for the adjournment. Alderman Gardner, I'm going to ask that the alderman approve it showing you as absent because you were not here for the meeting.
Once again,
And to show up for the adjournment does not constitute the meeting. And
once again, we do not have an ordinance in place that reflects what you're stating and saying.
okay.
I feel like if that's a change that you may want to incorporate for the future, then go so. But at this point in time, as long as I was here before we adjourned, I should be considered as present.
Okay.
And I stated, and I told you guys on that last meeting that as well, and I told you that I was running late from a doctor's appointment. The
Okay.
meeting only lasted 15 minutes.
Okay, that's immaterial. This meeting starts at 6. Okay, so do I hear a motion to accept the minutes as written?
Make motion.
Motion made by Alderman Best. Here a second.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor say aye. Any
Roll
opposed?
call.
Okay, roll call vote.
A motion was offered by Alderman Betts to accept the minutes as written. It was second by Alderman Smith. Alderman Betts.
Yes.
Alderman Gardner.
No.
Alderman McCoy.
Yes.
Alderman Probst.
Are we going to question any questions? I'm just questioning on the doctor's appointment. He said he had a doctor.
Correct. And it can be proven.
Well, that's
Here's
what I'm
another
saying.
thing. We're not
Can
a
you prove that?
I can, but we're not a clock in. As the alderman or the mayor, we don't clock in and out like regular employees. But I can prove that I was at a doctor's appointment.
Point is, he wasn't at the meeting.
I was here before we adjourned.
I understand.
Yeah,
So you're comfortable with charging the people of the day $300 to show up for the adjournment of the meeting? You're comfortable with that?
I mean, I was present. Does the ordinance reflect and state and says that it's
Says
a
for you.
time frame that I have to be here present to sit down with being penalized? That's not what your ordinance says. Let's just you know, do what the ordinance states and says. That's all I'm asking of.
Okay. All right, any more discussion?
Mayor, there's a
Pardon?
motion. We have to continue the motion and
Right, I
then
mean,
we can go to
I'm just saying,
discussion.
are we gonna question?
Yeah, we can discuss
We
it. I
can
mean,
do a discussion after the roll call, yes.
That's my only question,
To me-
is the fact that it was a doctor's appointment. Does he have proof that he had a doctor's appointment? And again, that's just the only thing I'm looking at.
I'm approaching, remember when we did this, there was no reason whether there's a death in the family. It didn't
Right,
matter. If
right.
you were here, you were here. If you weren't, you weren't.
When
And that's-
you
when-
did this.
Well, y'all voted.
Well, we
I voted
we
against
voted on it.
You
And
voted on
does-
You voted against
I,
it, I believe.
I don't remember what I
I
voted for
believe-
sure at that point.
Well, I mean,
I think I voted for it, but again, yes, we do need to be at the meetings.
Yeah.
And we do need to discuss the business of the town. But again, if the doctor's appointment's in place, if, like he's asking, could we go back and revise this to make it so that if you are past closing argument before we dismiss, I mean, I can see somebody, we've had people walk in here late before. I mean, we have, and the meeting lasted longer, so.
I don't understand it, but not for the adjournment. Now, here's,
No, I mean, it
here's,
just so happened this was a really short meeting. so
Correct.
I can understand his argument. Do I agree with the fact he wasn't here?
But just
No.
want to do what you want to do because that's what you want to do and that doesn't reflect
No,
what the
no,
ordinance
no,
says.
That's not- has nothing to do
I don't
with
want to get into that part.
I'm just
Wait,
saying.
let me discuss
Go
what
ahead.
I'm discussing right now. I think he's got a legitimate point. I think you've got a legitimate point. I think we all agree that we need to represent the town and be at the meetings. But do we need to look at this to make it where, because there have been times, well, one time I didn't even come, you know, and I think I got docked, which is okay. But again, we have had people walk in here late and the meeting lasted that period of time and they weren't counted absent. So
Correct.
maybe, I'm just asking you other aldermen.
I'm having a question. I have a question of all the other aldermen. Y'all been aldermen for a long time. Y'all know when this meeting is? What day is it on? Second Tuesday of every month.
Right.
Been doing it for
And
10
I-
years.
But can
Why
you
would you
control
make a
the
doctor's appointment? Why would
you?
you make a doctor? Did you have an emergency?
You know what? That's not the details of my doctor's appointment.
It's not my business.
Exactly.
But what is my
Because
business is
your
you weren't at
details
this
of your
meeting.
doctor's
You weren't at
appointment
this
is not
meeting.
mine.
You weren't at this meeting.
I
Alderman-
came in here and I sat
I mean,
down.
I understand your point there too.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do, but again,
We've got votes.
Let me
I'm
say,
just asking them what their thoughts are. Let's
Well,
just
he-
discuss it, because it does involve
Here-
us.
here's my thoughts. And this happened when the rule was put in place. I think you may have said that there may be some exceptions where one wouldn't make it to the meeting. And I said, everybody could come up with an excuse
Right.
while so either you're here or you're not here. And I think we all agreed across the board that was the decision.
Okay, so if you're, again, this was, so we're clear on it in the future. Because we have had people will come in late. I mean, 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late, but the meeting lasted that long. you know?
My words were, if I had an issue that was pressing enough that would cause me to be late or miss the meeting, then so be it. I was going to take care of that issue that was near and dear to me. And if it caused me to miss the meeting,
Right.
then I would miss the meeting. And I wouldn't expect,
Right, right. I mean, I
and
understand.
I would rather that than you judging whether my excuse was good enough to
No, we wouldn't.
pass the smell test on me missing the meeting.
No, I'm not saying
But
that
it
part.
technically wasn't a missed meeting if I came and I sat down before the meeting adjourned.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The motion on the floor is,
Approve the minutes.
and
If we're gonna leave it as
Alderman-
stand, I'm gonna go ahead and say,
Alderman Gardner asked for a roll call. And I think we got past me.
John, I think.
and I said, are we gonna talk about it at all?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with what we've got. If we're gonna stick with that, we're gonna say, yes.
Okay, and then come back and change it if you want to.
If we want to change it, then we need to look at that and change it. If not, if everybody says that, I'm satisfied with it like it is. But again,
Well-
if we're here, we're here. If we're not, we're not. I agree with that.
But once again,
And a doctor's appointment, if it is, and I agree with Mary Kraft on this too, is if
And
you
I,
can make your doctor's appointment another day, whether you can or not, then hey,
but once again, the ordinance does not state and say a time frame.
okay.
but we did discuss, Robert, we did discuss, you're here or you're not. So I agree. I'll say yes, approve the minutes.
Okay.
And I do sympathize that if any of you all get sick or have something that you need to take care of, I sympathize with you. But all that should have been thought about before we put the rule in place that if you're not here when the meeting is going on, if you don't affect any of the action items that happen on during the meeting, I don't think that you can,
You say you don't think, but have you read the ordinance? Do you know what the ordinance states and says?
yeah, I know exactly what it
Okay.
says. That's why,
But it's not a time frame on the amount of time that you come here and
But
sit
the
down.
point,
Okay.
William, is this, in my opinion, I still say, if we want to change it, we change it after this point. And then if that's what we decide to do. And that's why I wanted to draw the question.
We
Do
gonna-
we want to look at something different?
we're gonna change it to, if I call and I say I got
That's up to y'all. I don't care. I'm happy with it like it is.
I think we should leave it like it is. 'Cause this,
Because he
We-
just discussed it pretty good about what
We-
we expect.
we just
So
talked about
it's
it
all
10
in
minutes.
front of everybody in the
in
camera.
the
We know
future,
what we expect.
we know when our meetings
If
are.
the business
We know
is
when our meetings
done,
are.
you ain't here. You're just not here.
Well, once again,
So
my finalization of it is the reflection of there is not a time frame in place that states we have to be here 10, 15, 20, or 30 minutes at the meeting to be considered present, regardless to any action being carried out or made by any alderman. And once again, other aldermen have been late and received their full salary or whatever. But that's not what the ordinance states and says. And I'm just asking y'all to make a decision based on what this ordinance says.
Okay, we've got three yeses, one nay. I think you got,
Alderman Smith? We're on the roll call vote.
Yeah,
The-
yeah, I said yes.
okay.
Okay.
All right, motion goes. All right, minutes approved. All right. Louisiana open
But
meeting.
before we go further, I will say, going forward in the future, anything that I personally feel like I'm being targeted towards, I will be making notations and going to the Board of Ethics, letting them know that things are not being followed as if they should.
Okay, and Alderman Garner, you have every right to do that.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good deal. All right, let's move on. Open meeting law requires public comments on current agenda items from the public at any time before a meeting, and this is that time. It's limited to 3 minutes. Does anybody in the public have a question on any agenda item? Ms. Lynch had her hand raised. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Cassandra, President of the Beautification Committee. And I see on that agenda number 2, presentation of placement of an 80-foot flagpole inside town limits
Yes, ma'am.
by Sabrina.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, we've been riding on that horse for a long time.
A long time.
And we got a flag down there. Sabrina gonna put up the flag. Beautification don't want to work on that project anymore.
Okay.
We think that that's gonna be enough flags, and we would like to use our money for some other things to make the town
Okay.
pretty.
Okay.
So you're gonna let me keep my money and do something else?
Sure. We'll find something else to do with it, but beautify with that. That's not a problem. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Cassandra. Yes, sir. Von Manchester.
Yeah, I'm gonna be speaking on, the financial statement for December of 2025. If anybody want a copy of what I got here, so we know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
I'm Mr. Gardner.
What you got?
Anybody else?
I do.
Oh, Lord.
We'll take one over here as well.
Is this on the agenda or something?
He's just going by
Speaking
there.
about the finance.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this goes into the finance part.
This is about the finances, the nepotism. Nepotism, excuse me. Louisiana RS 421119 strictly prohibits heads of any government agency, most especially a mayor, from hiring immediate family members. This specifically includes brother-in-laws. Buzz Craft's brother-in-law received 4 checks from the town of Vidalia, 2 for $2,500 and 2 for $5,000, for a total of $15,000 within a 37-day period. Interestingly, 3 checks were under one vendor name and one $5,000 check was under another vendor name. I'm not sure what that means, but so why was the payment split instead of being one? Well, first of all, that's illegal. Can you agree to that, Buzz?
No, it's not illegal. And
You
I'll tell
don't,
you
you don't
why.
think that's illegal?
I'll tell you why in a minute. Go ahead. You got a few more, you
Okay.
got a couple
Yeah,
more
let me
minutes, couple more
finish.
minutes.
Well, in Louisiana, if it's over $5,000 on a job, well, then there has to be a written contract. Was there a written contract on it?
No, sir, it does not have to be a written contract.
Well, it says right here that you can't split the job up. Like write a bunch of $5,000 checks to avoid having to have a written
You
contract.
can't, go ahead.
Okay. All the work was allegedly electrical work. This in spite of the mayor's brother-in-law lacking any current license to perform contract electrical work, as well as none of the insurance requirements that all other contractors must provide before work can be done. I've got a copy. First of all, trying to get records from PI is like pulling teeth. I mean, I do records
Mrs.
request after
Wilson.
records request, and they're completely ignored. I only got a few months to choose from to pull this up. But, and I've been trying to get some more, but she won't even respond. But you can, please note how close the check numbers are together, if you want to see if it was being split up on purpose to try to make it look like a bunch of little jobs. The check numbers are very close. Okay, you want to address it?
I sure do. Go ahead and have a seat. I think you're close to 3 minutes on that.
My what?
You're close to 3 minutes on that. But anyway, go ahead and have a seat. All right.
Well, I mean, you was very upset over him with $300, but you just writing checks for $15,000 to
Okay.
brother-in-law,
I'll-
but I'm sure that don't matter.
Mr. Manchester, have a seat, and I'll be glad to explain it. Randy, would you come front? Would you come up front? Jay, would you go ahead and say, did we not call ethics and check on with everybody we're supposed to before this was done?
Absolutely. By ethics law, brother-in-laws are not considered immediate family.
Right.
Spouses are, but siblings of spouses are not. We definitely checked that specifically before interested in this, and it's clearly in there.
Okay, thank you. Now, Randy, what would you say, we had an employee hired who did an outstanding job on getting our Christmas decorations painted, doing electrical work and doing these things. How long would you say was spent on an employee that worked would you say 4 to 6 months on getting Christmas stuff
Yeah, he
painted?
worked
4 to 6 months?
at least, and then 10 hours a day probably.
Okay. How many hours would you say Mr. Lee did, and what would you say his work was? I mean, did I interfere? Did I ever show up down there to get involved in or do anything? Or who was he under kind of the supervision of the whole time he was down there?
Me.
Okay. Would you say he did a good job and
Yeah.
what he did
done
was
an excellent job.
worth what we did, probably saved money?
He done a good job.
Okay. All right.
Very good.
Does the council got a question?
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, come
on. And I do know about the nepotism as well. So my 2 things I'm gonna say. One is gonna be directed to our city clerk. I heard him say, and I've got statements from other people stating the same thing. So I'm just wanting to reflect and check with you. Why are you not returning or answering emails or phone calls from the public making public record requests.
I'll be glad to
Hold
answer
on,
that.
I'm asking her,
Okay.
Mayor Kraft, can I please speak?
Go ahead.
So I want to know why you're not, doing your due diligence from the requests that are being made from the public or whomever is calling to get, the records. Is the mayor telling you not to do it, or it's just decisions that you're making on your own? That's my question for you. And my second question is, well, it's not going to be a question, but a statement. Anytime that you think that it is nepotism and something of this is going on and being done, you directly can go to the Board of Ethics. You can write a letter letting them know what's going on and what you assume has happened, and they will do a thorough investigation. So that's my.
Anything when you can't get open records. You know what I'm saying?
So my question is, how did you get these details?
Okay, it took me a month. They made me to wait a month for that, and then they printed it out in 2 minutes, because on all the papers, you can see the time on it. Took 2 minutes to get the paperwork, and then I had to come in here and be babysitted and just give them the documents that they're gonna throw away as soon as I leave. And I had to take pictures of them on my phone.
Yes, because there is a charge.
Then had to go to the library and get them printed out off of a telephone, anything to make it
That-
harder or slower. And.
But
then after
that is normal, proper protocol. What they did do to you, allowing you to use your phone to take, that is correct. They wasn't wrong on that part. But once again, if you do think, it took a month for you to get those documents. Did you ever receive anything that stated and say, hey, give us a minute because we got this going on and we're gonna get to you at this time? Because there's notices that are supposed to be given within certain time frames.
They did give me 30 days notice to wait for records that you should be able to walk in and be presented.
Well,
According to Louisiana open records.
they can, Pi can also tell you, she can tell you that it takes a certain time frame to get you certain things.
Okay, I've carried to let this go far enough. Y'all had enough. Now, let me explain.
Okay,
Let me explain.
I asked the question.
No, I'm gonna finish though. I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna
So
answer.
can
I'm
Pi
gonna
not
ask.
talk for
She can
herself?
talk after I get through, Alderman Gardner. Mr. Manchester's request wasn't for this information. Mr. Manchester's request was for this information from Pi. And you have 3 days to respond to tell them when you can give them the information. He wanted every transaction that the town had wrote, every vendor, every transaction for 3 or 4 years. So it wasn't just this he wanted. So it ain't like you can walk in and say, give me this stuff. So Mr. Manchester's making unreasonable demands on all this information. It's a lot of work that she has to spend her time when she's really got more important things to do than he's on a witch hunt to get up and get this information. So anyway, she got this far. Have a seat. I'm done, Mr. Manchester. Have a seat.
You don't sit there and
No,
lie. I get to do a rebuttal. I mean,
no, you're
there's
not.
no
Have a
way
seat.
you
You're
can do
done.
that.
You're done. Have a seat.
You know,
You're- Mr. Manchester, have a
Oh,
seat,
what? Oh, what?
or I'm gonna have
So,
you removed
yes,
for
he
disrupting
just
the
created
meeting.
an ordinance that says you can be
I'll
removed.
do a federal lawsuit.
Yeah, so you may want to sit down.
You don't trump my constitutional right.
He just created an ordinance that says he can remove you.
Well,
Now, I didn't vote to approve it, so
You're
I ask that
disrupting
you
our
please
meeting. You've
have a
already had
seat,
your
sir.
say, and we're answering your question. There's-
No, you just told them all things lie.
And say, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to that, because I have not told a lie, Mr. Manchester. Okay, I'm done.
It took 30 days.
Okay.
Let's have order.
Or, right, there you go. And
And then.
Sam?
The request that I did for the 4 years was 12 days ago, but she never said, well, hey, this is gonna take no response at all.
she did respond.
I did.
Well, I know.
I have.
I got all the emails.
I have
Okay,
responded.
all right, we're done with you, Mr. Manchester. But anyway, Mr. Gardner, Pi, do you want to answer? I mean,
Please.
Mr. Gardner, so
I have responded to every public records request, to every phone call, even if I had to call someone back. So yes,
what's
his
the
requests that have come
communication?
through, where his, I have no
I mean,
idea.
I've seen
But
the
where-
emails in my pocket, we can see.
When he sent the request, his request was responded to.
in a time frame that is
And
stated by the
within the
law.
five- within the
It's
5
never-
days
they
that
never
is
sent
set
me
by
anything
state
back.
law.
I got the email. Produce an email, is all I'm saying. Produce an email.
So this is what I'm gonna just say, and I'm done. I recommend that we, whomever, where we mayor, we alderman, we city clerk, we city manager, we treat each and every individual that walk through that door fair and equal, regardless of however you feel personally towards people. I ask that, I don't know that that is not the case, but if it is the case, I ask y'all to fix it.
That's not the case. It's not the case, and we're
It's not
done.
the case
We're
on
done.
my end.
All right, let's,
15
all right,
minutes
let's,
about you getting $300.
let's move on.
$15,000,
All right,
you can't talk about that. You don't have time to, because you're in my
Mr.
order, please.
Mr. King, would you please remove Mr. Manchester? Thank you. We can go on with our meeting now. Item number 1 is presentation of financial statements for December 2025 by Ms. Deborah Moak, our CPA and municipal accountant.
Tonight's financial statements include the balance sheet as of December 31st, 2025, the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for the 6 months ending December 31st, 2025. These financial statements have been distributed to all department heads and aldermen for their review. In summary, the town has combined cash in the bank of $5.9 million, including $3.3 million in the hydro fund and $918,000 in the sales tax fund. Investments are $29.2 million, including $26.7 million in the hydro fund, $1.8 million in the general fund, and $750,000 of ARPA funds. Total assets are $77.7 million. Total liabilities are $14.5 million, for a fund balance of $63.2 million. The statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance for the 6 months ending December 31st, 2025 indicates combined revenues of $22.7 million, total expenditures of $27.9 million, for a change in net position of a negative $5.2 million. Total revenues are at 46% of budget. Personnel expense is at 53%. Materials and supplies are at 54%. Other services and charges is at 85%. The high percentage of other service and charge is due to the $4.6 million that's been spent year-to-date on hydro projects. The negative $5.2 million variance is due to rebates, hydro projects, and the water plant expansion costs that have been incurred year-to-date. Hydro royalties are expected to be lower at the end of the quarter due to the lower levels of the Mississippi River. The change in net position is not expected to meet the total budgeted amount since the hydro projects were not included in the budget. These projects have been carryovers from previous years. The fund balance from previous years is a source of revenue for these project expenses. The budget to actual comparison does not include the $5.8 million for the payoff of the transmission line debt and construction, which we did earlier this year. The American Rescue Funds available amount to $895,000. These funds are to be used to help fund the raising of the water wells along the riverfront. The money must be spent by December 31st, 2026, or will need to be refunded. The engineers are working on this project and should be completed in time to meet the deadline.
Okay, any questions, Ms. Moak? All right, let's move on to good things. Presentation on the placement of an 80-foot flagpole inside the city limits. Ms. Sabrina Dore. Hello.
So I own Shelter Insurance of Vidalia. My husband, Tab Dore, and agent Trey Mason, we're all kind of really excited about some things that are coming up. While no ordinance or requirement exists, excuse me, that we bring this before the board, we are doing something that has yet been done in the town of Vidalia, and we are installing an 80-foot flagpole on private property with private funding. The town of Vidalia is not in any way sponsoring this, paying for this, or anything like that. I just kind of want to make that clear. This is all privately funded. So if you look in the picture here, the building to the right is my existing insurance agency. I have purchased the structure formerly known as Hometown Sports, which will become my primary agency, denoted by 1640. The location of the star is the location of the 80-foot flagpole. Let's see, and I'm going to give you all the specs to try to pre-answer any questions that you may have about this project. So the pole is going to be 80 foot tall. That's the amount that's going to be sticking out of the ground, right? There will be an additional 10 feet in the ground. So the stability of the project is we have thought of everything. I'm an insurance agent, much like Brent. We thought of the insurance stuff and the safety of the town. There will be a 30 by 20 American flag installed. This is an idea of what the finished project, both the building and the flagpole, will be. How big is a 20 by 30 flag? Dustin, if you'll go back one picture for me. No, you're fine. I didn't tell you what to do. You're doing a great job. That structure, the existing structure, is 20 by 30. That's the size of the flag. That right there. So we are increasing the size of the fascia of the building, which we will bring to y'all for approval. The sign and all will have to undergo approval. We're not doing any of that right now. We're just kind of making everybody aware that we're installing the flagpole. Kind of some other facts and figures, things that just kind of blow me away a little bit. When you look at the McDonald's arches and you're coming into town and you can see the McDonald's arches glowing, 60 feet at the top of the arches. That'll be the bottom of this flag. So we're going to be 20 feet higher than the arches of McDonald's. The town of Vidalia is approximately 3 miles, just shy of 3 miles from corp limit to corp limit. And I am 1.5 dead in the center from both. So from each approach into the town, this flag will be illuminated at night, shining brightly during the daytime as well. And everybody's going to be able to see it based on my location, dead center in the town. The flag that will be flown on it will only be the American flag. I will not put any type of business flag, any other type of flag on it. This is 100% for the United States flag. This is not a marketing gimmick. This is not for advertising. This is something I have wanted to do for the town for years. And as we are approaching my 11th year as the business owner, I have finally been able to get the funding and the ability to do it. Now, number one question that I have reached out to Jay LaShawn. He and I kind of talked about this briefly in September. I checked with him to make sure, do I need to bring this before the board? Of course, you've all met me. I read those ordinances forwards, backwards. I read every bit of that city code. I could probably quote it to you at this point. I'm so familiar with it. But I made sure that I was ticking all my boxes and that I was following all protocol. There exists no protocol in the current ordinances for the installation of a flagpole. It is not a form of advertisement. And it is not a structure. It is not a building. It is a flagpole, is all it is. On the Department of Transportation, let's see, the pole itself, can you go back to that number one for me? So the pole itself, the location of the star, it is 77.5 feet from the edge of the highway. And according to Ann Robinson, District 58 permit specialist with the Louisiana Department of Transportation, the right-of-way at this location is 60 feet from the center of the turning lane. My flagpole will sit 125 feet from the center of the turning lane, nearly double the required spacing for the right-of-way. So we're absolutely compliant with those standards. I have that written, I have that verified. The nearest utility line is 50 feet from the base of the pole, providing generous horizontal clearance. The flag is 30 by 20. There's still more than enough open space for it to fly freely without any interference of utility lines. Also on the vertical side, those poles, generally are 50 to 55 feet for your utility poles. I'm 80. So we're still going to have 10 feet between the top of the utility line and the bottom of my flag. So we're not going to be at risk of hitting any poles. We are also, based on the designs that Tab, Trey, and Lee Blanton and myself have come up with, even when required to fly at half mast, we will have generous space that it is not going to touch any other buildings. I own both buildings, but we're not going to be touching either building. It's not going to interfere with any existing signage even at half-mast. 80-foot pole is about the height of an 8-story building. Just for reference, the old courthouse is 4 stories. So this flagpole is going to be double the size of the old courthouse building. And it will be illuminated with no fewer than 3 LED lights per protocol of the flying of the flag. Those will be adjusted so that they are positioned upward and will not impede with vision when driving. These are not going to be lights that will be blinding. They will be up from the tops, the roofs of both of the buildings, shining up. So we will not have any issue with the lighting causing difficulty in vision at nighttime. And I think that about hits everything unless y'all have any other questions.
Go ahead.
Yes, there's no requirements from the town, because right now everything's silent on it as far as flags, I think, as
Yeah.
far as the ordinance, it doesn't address it. I think it'd be a great addition, well, also maybe save us money, said Cassandra, we struggle with where to put it. I mean, we went, I wanted to put it in the median between the bridges, we went to the courthouse, we went to the new courthouse, we've been down here, it's just never been a good spot to put it that everybody was happy with, but, center of town, not cost us any money, thank you.
Absolutely.
And then the question I got is,
Mhm.
how tall is the one out of Denny's?
His is, I believe, I do not have the actual fact on Denny's,
It's probably
but I
tall.
believe his is 100 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
thinking that it was. The new one installed by Hewitt's is 80. I believe his actual flag is smaller than my flag. I could be
Winsboro's
wrong
over
on that
100,
as well.
Isn't Winsboro over 100,
Yeah,
120?
It was over 100 from
The one thing, Sabrina, and I know you'll
Winsboro
do it.
was.
Yes.
The one thing that I hope you do, and I know you will, keep that flag up.
Oh, I'm buying, I've already,
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Because I know you will.
No,
but
no,
So
I'm-
many are saying and they're not kept
Yeah.
up.
I'm buying
Yes.
2 so that when listen, my papaw
Right.
taught me all about flag
Oh, yeah.
etiquette. I have a high respect for the flag. I've always flown a flag at my office. But I'm buying 2 so that when one little thing gets frayed, we will replace it
Curiosity
out.
Also,
I,
curiosity also, how much does one like that cost, average?
Whew,
I'm just not being, but it is.
nearly $100,000.
I knew it was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I just simply have to say, Sabrina, I appreciate you. I admire you. I thank you for, having the opportunity to bring your business and keep your business here in Vidalia for 11 years. I think you're a total asset to the town in many and multiple ways. And from even when you used to sit on the board, just your different ideas that you brought to the table and in this idea here, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
It's going to be very nice.
I found out about it the other day when I was in the office, and I was floored at the dimensions of it. And I was like, well, now I don't get it in District 1, so.
All right, thank you very
Sorry, I
much.
kind of stole everybody's thunder on that.
That's all right.
But yeah, I'm gonna be the first large flagpole in Vidalia.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks. All right, number 3, we got board discussion vote on approval of signed applications for MedCentris on 4014 Carter Street. You can prove your occupational license. You'll see up there's their sign. That's gonna be going in the Dr. Ingham's,
No,
Isn't it?
it's gonna be in one of those.
Total.
Total, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that his?
I don't
No,
know.
it was not.
That wasn't his? Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right. I thought he was in the group, but anyway, okay. But anyway, so the old total urgent care. So that's the building. That's the signs. Any questions?
Shanda Jackson, good friend of mine, I think.
Okay. Have a motion to approve.
I make that motion.
Motion made by Alderman McQuarrie, second.
I say,
Second by, I think, Alderman Smith first. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Okay, next thing we have, I think Dustin's going to take center stage on this. Board discussion, vote on approval of the renewal of the contract with the Doppler notification system for utility outages. Dustin?
Sir, sorry, I might have to present from back here, if you don't mind. All right. Okay, so for the Doppler system, of course, we branded the Vidalia communication system. So it's been started since June, late June, July of 2025. So this data I'm presenting today will be 6 months data. Okay. 1 second while I get this set up here. Okay. Sorry, I got to share it with Facebook. There we go. All right. So, 1 second.
You're under heavy pressure now. Your wife just walked in.
Oh boy, I was hoping, I could avoid that.
Didn't mean to
1 second.
put any pressure on you, Dustin, but your wife is.
Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. Had to switch the entire system over. All right, so just to begin, let me get over here for this. There we go. Okay, so this is the Vidalia Cooperative Communication System. Of course, you guys have seen this before. This was what we launched in June of last year. This was where citizens could sign up to receive notifications from the town, but could also report incidences such as power outages, gas leaks, sewer problems, things of that nature. So this still stands. This is the first advertisement we put out for it, and it's the same now. So citizens can scan that QR code to get signed up online. If they don't wish to be engaged in that way, they can just call when they have any incident. Okay, so in 2025, these are our Doppler stats. We had 237 reports. Now these reports, of course, don't include events. So some of these could be 15 power outages for one event. Okay, it's just to let you know that this is not 237 separate incidences necessarily. And as you can see, electric was number one by a long shot. Okay, so we only had one police, and this is one of the great things about Doppler is if somebody does call with an emergency that is not related to our crews, they will say, transfer them to the police. And so that's very nice. So there was only one emergency call, I guess, that came through that way. That was transferred to police. Okay, and you can stop me anytime. All right, so this is our hotspot map. This shows you where the concentration of these incidences from 2025 occurred. Okay, so I'll zoom in a little bit for you. This is where the biggest concentration was. Okay, I know this may be hard to see. You can see the river at the bottom right corner. So I'll go in one more level and show you this. So you can see Myrtle, Plum. So around the area, I think this had a name. What was it? Orchard area. So this was the primary reporting center of the hotspots. Okay. So our guys make this work. Okay. Our crews are the success of this program. No question. Their acknowledgement times, you can see 85% of the time, it's less than 5 minutes. They are in either engaging with the person who made the report, or they are on their way to the situation. So we do have arrival times, the 27 minutes is the highest of the 85% of the time. That's typically going to be because of the electric crews that have to get together. So that number looks a little high, but it doesn't necessarily reflect how efficient these guys have been during this time. So it's been quite a program, and they deserve all the credit for this.
Yeah, well, Dustin, I just interject with that. You got to remember that they get this call. We have some of our crews in Natchez, some on the outskirts of town. So in that 27 minutes, they're getting out of their house, they're getting in their vehicle, they're going to the barn, they're getting on their safety gear, they're getting the bucket truck ready. So when you think about it, to arrive with under 30 minutes, I know it's a long time when your power's out, but when you think about what they're going through to get there in 30 minutes, that's pretty impressive, I think. Yeah, there you go.
All right. So
Who said that?
So far in 2026, we've had 58 reports. And again, we had a huge event. We had an ice event. So I guarantee you that 80% of those 58 reports probably happened during those 2 days with the power outages. So this is kind of a look below of how we see the incidences in our reports for admin. So it tells us which team was sent out, what address they went out to, when they arrived, and so on and so forth. And it's up to the guys to put this information in. They have to log this as they're going through the process. So we're constantly improving that part of it for sure. So this here is probably the most impressive part. When we first started this, you have to enter in the schedules for these guys for sewer, gas, water, electric. I thought this was going to be my job. I thought this was going to be my new job when we first got this, because it's not super easy to do this at first until you figure it out. But within 2 weeks of launching the program, the supervisors had taken over everything. So they've been scheduling their people since June, like second week of June of 25. So super impressive for these guys to just jump on this and adopt this service, because it has been the success of that is their actions. So the supervisors deserve a lot of credit for this and its functionality. All right, so here's a good example of one of the reports that came in. Somebody called and told they had an electric outage in their house. They took a little picture for us there, and they said right there, it says, Mayor, can you read that? You're a little closer than me.
Thanks for utility crews for the quick fix. You guys are rock stars.
Rock stars. There you go. Perfect.
And they are.
That's a perfect description. So that was really nice of them to comment on that.
Yeah.
And again, here's another report where the customer was signed up. They agreed. They say, yeah, here's my phone number and my name. They get a link for this report that they have made. Doppler sends it to them. They click on it. They added these images. They added 3 images of the gas leak potential for the crew. So when the crew arrived, they already knew what they were looking for, and it just helps a lot when the citizens participate like this. So this was a shining example of that. So this step is the same as it has been since day one. Citizens can go here. If they opt in, they get that link sent to them. The step 2, that's where that optional link comes. Step 3, they review the info that they provided to Doppler to make sure it's correct. And then step 4, they can add pictures. You know, wouldn't it be great to see the alligators that they see out by somewhere their water by their house or something? Anyway, this is just one of the citizen interactions that really makes it a great program. And that's it.
I got one question on it.
Yes, sir.
You had a hot spots. What is our reasoning for that orchard being a huge hot spot? What are we finding there that's causing that?
I would say probably the highest concentration of people, honestly, really, and I would say it's it's some of your, of course, a lot of your neighborhoods are older. That as far as electricity goes, you have probably more trees.
But we're eliminating those.
We're working on those, yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. We're eliminating that problem probably in those orchards.
And I'm going to address that in a minute when I get to my project update. So, but I do want to say this. I mean, that with working with conjunction with calling the police department is really, it's just really overkill, but you can make sure that it's getting seen to, because I can pick up the phone. It's like this weekend. I got a phone call. I was out of town. The lady had, her toilets wasn't flushing. I'm calling Cornell. He's right on it. And 30 minutes, I think they had them fixed and stuff. And that, I mean, you can't, on a weekend, most municipalities tell them, well, we won't be back in office till Monday, just deal with it. But no, they went out on that, the night of the night, those guys had been out a long time the day before when we had the freeze. Well, that night we had a connector pull loose, a barrel connector pull loose from a power line and go down. And at 12 in the morning, these guys get up and they go out in the cold weather and they got it going back on. I think it was that one, maybe an hour or two. And I mean, those guys, they really are rock stars. I mean, and you can't say enough about them. The work they do. Keith Graves with being over them and Cornell being over the whole department. They do an outstanding job. So, but
And
this works great. If they'll all sign up for it, rather than going to Facebook or social media complaining somewhere, we might not see that because a lot of times I don't see it till 3 or 4 days later or hear about it. So that's either call us or number one, call this right here and you'll get direct feedback. So.
And this definitely took pressure off of dispatch in the police as well, 100%. And they did a great job in the first couple of weeks because they were the backup contact. So now all the calls, everything going, if it comes in the utility after hours, it all goes to Doppler.
Also, too, one of the things that I like is being an alderman. I'm privy to this information too. So if somebody calls in, I get it.
Right.
And I'll know what's going on. If somebody calls and says, what's going on? Well, I've got the information. I can tell them when they were sent out and all that. I think it's a good tool for us as aldermen. I didn't lose any power this last time, thank goodness, but I knew when everybody else did. And
I didn't lose it either. I blinked the time.
But I think it's a good thing. Get signed up.
City District 1.
Is there any other questions on that? Now, the cost of it, what you'll be proving on is renew the contract. Now, the first year we had it, there was a $7,000 discount on it. And for 5-year contract annually is $37,289, which might sound pricey, but for what you get, your citizens are informed and it's a track record. I'm sure Cornell and them has been helpful for them too, hadn't it? Save time, you never know. I mean, I can be honest with you, when people's power's out and it's hot or cold, they want it on 2 minutes is too much if they got to do without it. So hear a motion to approve that?
So
Quick question
moved.
before we motion, is the amount already set in the budget? It was already set.
I think we had it set, but I think this is, what's the renewal date? What's the renewal date?
It's January.
It was in January? Okay. So it'd be a $7,000 increase, which we knew was coming.
I so moved that the information given to us today about the renewal of the Doppler notification system.
Okay, motion made by Alderman McCoy, here a second.
I second.
Second by Alderman Smith, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next thing we have is board discussion, vote on approval on bids for a bucket truck. I have 2 bids somewhere. Here they are. All right. This is from, now this is ones we're selling, okay? This is the old wore out one that we got. It's 2007 International 4300. This is from JJ Merchant. The bid is $6,277.77.
Oh,
What was that amount again?
$6,277.77. Now, don't ask me where he got 77 cents.
That's the same.
Must be some kind of algorithm they use to figure out what the papers on. And then here's Ford's tree work, 10,000. So high bid is 10,000. I need a motion by the council to accept that bid.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Betts, second by Alderman Gardner. All in favor say aye.
aye.
Okay, next thing we have is a board discussion vote on approval to appoint Barrett Arthur to the Port Commission. His brother Brandon Arthur just took he's been on the Port Commission for several years. And y'all know Brandon and Barrett are brothers and they are big farmers in the parish. And with Brandon doing that, he wanted to see if we could get his brother to take his place on the Port Commission, which I think is a good appointment. Barrett's got plenty of farming experience, which you need with that port. They handle a lot of farm products going in and out of it, and they're very knowledgeable on the whole process. Any questions, or can I take a motion to appoint?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Smith, do I hear a second?
I second.
Second by Alderman McCoy, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next thing we got is, I'm gonna go real quick through our my reports that I've got. First thing I want to do, I want to say I met with Jordan Farmer and Chris Cawthorn and their new members on our Recreation District Board, and Mike Boland, who's also been appointed as a new, I guess we call him athletic director. Is that rec director? Okay, athletic rec. But we looked at the old ballparks. They're in bad need of repair. We've talked about this before. We couldn't all get on the same page, like we have a lot of things to get things, some things done in town. But these parks are, y'all would say sometime in the summertime, we have 150 to 200 kids down there. Is that correct? They're going to be working on getting us prices to redo and maybe just improve those ballparks, maybe do some demolition on some buildings that need to go, some painting, some fixing up on the fields and lighting issues. But they're going to be putting together a budget and present it to our council to look at maybe helping them with that. And I think we should. There's no reason why in our town we should be not having all of our facilities available in good shape for our kids to enjoy and use.
This district number 2?
District number 2. So anyway, Jordan, would you or Chris like to add to that?
Sure would.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, first of all, appreciate y'all having us. I talked with Mayor Buzz months ago about the availability of the old ballparks. The new ones, they're wonderful, but during the season, when league play, we've got the largest DC youth baseball, softball in the state. So there's nobody bigger in Louisiana than what we have right here in Vidalia, Louisiana. And of course, we pull from Natchez, Tensall, Monterey, Faraday, but it's got a great thing going with a lot of kids. They had 800 kids in just this league, boys and girls here this past year. With that being said, one, we can't fit them all here. And then any kind of practice schedule, there's not even availability. You've got to squeeze in so many games in a few months. So we want to make the old ballparks accessible and lit, and where you don't get hit in the mouth of the ground ball every single time. Just basic stuff, nothing crazy, nothing. Just to cosmetically make it much better. We talked today about doing dirt infields, easy maintenance, cheaper to do. Getting all the lights. I've already worked with Cornell and Mr. Keith about this, and we're working on getting all the lights replaced right now. We've got power on all the fields, and counting light bulbs, probably need 50 to 60 new bulbs in. Tennis courts, which we're going to bring in 2 pickleball and redo one of the tennis, right?
At the old courts down there, we've already got a bid to do that. And tomorrow the rec board's going to meet. We're going to do y'all have already approved the CEA to do that, just to resurface those 2 tennis courts down there, but make one of those tennis courts a couple of pickleball courts, maybe even 3.
There was about 20 kids there last night. I went down there for baseball practice. There was 20 kids on the tennis courts, and they're awful, for lack of a better word. So redoing those and new lighting is going to be tremendous for them. And then we have 3 boy baseball fields, 2 girl baseball, softball fields. I don't think it'll be anything crazy. We're not trying to make them like these ballparks, obviously. We just want something where those 150 kids have somewhere good to practice, so we can take all the wear and tear off of these and have somewhere for everybody to practice. Not asking a lot, but I appreciate, any kind of help we could get from the city, obviously, because nothing's cheap these days. And as dads out there volunteering and trying to raise money and do what we can, it only goes so far.
I do want to tell, just to make sure the public's aware of this, as they know that there was a CEA between the rec board and the town when we built this complex out there for all this. And the rec board is carrying that note, so to speak, the large volume of it. With their budget, a lion's share portion of their budget each year is just to pay that note.
Yeah, we get our check and 75% is gone before we get it.
Yeah, and then they supplement what we pay our city employees to maintain those fields, plus their parts and some of the other things. But so they're really tight on tight margins, and I think I'm glad as a town that we can maybe help make those.
Absolutely. Y'all ride by any day from now till June. On Monday through Thursday, and you'll see exactly why we need to do something with it.
Yeah, it's full.
Yeah.
Any questions for Jordan?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I got a question. Is this all inclusive with the baseball parks that we've been trying to get?
Yeah,
I've been trying to get that.
I'm going to talk to. That's further down the list. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try to get through this.
Thank y'all.
Jordan, thank y'all, and thank y'all for the work y'all are doing. Appreciate that so much. Okay, Dustin, if you'll pull up our slough project. Right now, we've got a little video of pictures of it right now. Right now, this completion date is shooting for March the 15th. This is the slough pumping station, District 2. You'll see that's Walnut Street you see there. And to the left is headed back to that's the outlet side you see on the lower left-hand side there, and then the inlet side is on the other way where the excavator's sitting. They'll break that dam out there, and then the water be open for those pumps to pump that water out those two culverts there. And I'm hoping that's sufficient to get it done. That's the pumps down in the hole.
The pumps had to come from Sweden somewhere.
Yeah, the pumps came from overseas.
And then they're gonna also have to put a fence around it, they told me as well.
Yeah, you need. But that's it.
So I just got one question pertaining to it. I know we get a lot of footage on Polk Park. Is there any kind of way we can get the same kind of similar footage with like the thing that flies over it showing the process before, after, and in the process, just like we're doing with Polk Park, because it's very educational and informative for the community to see what's going on, especially,
No, I'll get that. We can do it again. We'll do it in the next meeting. I'll get Dustin to fly it from the slough all the way to the pumping station and follow that canal all the way out. By the way, I've been begging the police jury to take care of some beaver dams and some restrictions in our ditch. They broke some beaver dams today, and it's already dropped a foot and a half here. It's dropped a lot. So thank you, Cornell, for doing that. All right, the next thing I've got is Polk Park. Quick update on that. Playground's basically in place other than the surface of it. The material for the flooring came in, I think, is out there in pallets today. It's going to be outstanding. The splash pad is going up with equipment now. The fitness court is finished. Of course, we're waiting to open all this up at one time. Walking trail, as you see that, the pickleball courts, people that 8 courts should have been completed today. Dustin, you want to go to the flyover while we're talking about Dustin? I mean, okay, he's going to do a flyover of this. Right there is where one of the walking trails that go through there, and I don't have a link on that. They've got the curb and gutter done right now on the streets and parking going into that area right there. So since that's been flown, they've done the curb and gutter. They've expanded our pond that you'll see there, and it's going to have riprap around it. And the piers were extended. We'll add the water back into it and get it restocked with fish. Okay, now he changed. Right now to the bottom right, you'll see some of the playground. That's on the back side of the property. You'll see some of the walking trails where they go. That's the road coming in, about the tennis courts. Now you're starting to see the fitness court come into view there by the gym. That is going to be a really nice thing when people walking on the walking trail. They can jump off on that and do some physical exercises. We're going to resurface those basketball courts there. That'll be done within the next 2 weeks. The pickleball courts you see there are be on that back right quadrant. Now here he comes with a direct shot at the playground.
All right, I'll take you forward to the close-ups of this.
Okay, that's going to be bathrooms out there for the splash pad and playgrounds. That's an overhead. The splash pad's on the right. To the right. Supposed to be the largest playground in Louisiana. It's even got 2 zip lines. I think it'll hold me up. But you'll see there now, that's the subsurface. They hadn't put the final surface in for the kids. It'll be a soft material. Something all the citizens can really take pride in that it's in their town. And it's been a long time coming. I understand that. Ms. Doré was one person who put $150,000 in it. I think back 2018 or 19.
Started in 16, finally got it in the budget in 18.
Yeah.
So this is
And that's been another journey.
true.
Been another journey just trying to find where to put it.
Yep.
I tried to put it in different places, but Lord works in mysterious ways. But here we are, and I'm glad we got what we got.
That's very, very, very nice.
It's going to be impressive. Honestly, I'm more concerned. I think especially on weekends, there's going to be so many people coming in. People travel a long ways just to go to Gina to play, and now you can imagine coming to something like that. There's our fitness court. If ladies want to have a fitness class, they have a side of that they can have an actual small class.
So are people just going to be able to just show up, or how's it going to
Show
go?
up. Hours will be 7 to 9 each day. We will have an employee that will be on site that'll make sure that we don't have anybody doing things they're not supposed to do, help pick up. There'll be another bathroom.
And
And that area you see right there, can you pause it right there? Pause it. Can you pause it? Back it up just a little bit. Whoop, too far. Oh, right there. That area, the open area up above where you see the road there, that's where a farmer's market's gonna be. The farmer's market's gonna be there, and the front of it's gonna be facing toward the highway. It's gonna be a 14,000 square foot building. It'd be just a pavilion with fans under it, bathroom, office, and people can back up under there with their wares, fruits, vegetables, arts, craft, no garage sale stuff, just things that'll make it real nice and professional. People can come there, and I think it'll be a hub where people will be coming from all over to.
This video is available online. It's on our Facebook, YouTube. You can probably see it on our website as well. If they want to watch it. We'll be putting these out every couple of weeks.
Okay.
Mayor,
Uh-huh.
and so we're pretty sure that the stuff behind there is not going to flood because of our construction, or have we?
I made that a point because, in the past that's flooded back there. They've said they've got the flooding worked out. Till we get a big rain, we'll find out. So I don't think we've had a 3 or 4 or 5 inch rain since they've got all this to this point, but we'll see.
So I have another question. I'm planning a birthday party for my kid and want to do like a pizza or something. So basically, because the public probably want to know these questions, they just show up between the hours of 7 and 9. It's no booking, just show up.
Not starting out as no bookings. Number one is first come. I mean, it's going to be big enough. I feel like we can accommodate, things. We'll have areas that's another reason when the farmer's market's not going to be farmer's market, people can use that for pavilion, for birthday parties. And now we're going to have somebody, probably whoever an employee is, to kind of make sure you don't have 5 families show up there for a family reunion. We're going to have to maybe do some scheduling there.
I think that would be awesome.
But,
Everybody come to town, have a big family.
yeah, it would be nice. I mean, you got plenty to do, and so, like I said, splash pad there. It's gonna be the kids are gonna feel like they're at Disney World without having to pay the price. So we're excited. I mean, everybody should be excited about this. I mean, this was a slam dunk, I think, for everybody.
And speaking of that, it's time, if you want a couple rows in the garden, it's time to let me know.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to break ground.
We have Alderman Betts is kind of overseeing the community garden. Any local farmers or growers who want to grow, I don't even care if it's flowers or plants, to maybe seed, some to put in their yard. They can come there and get a plot to, you've got all kind of equipment there. We got a tiller, we've got a tractor, we've got water there for your plants if you want to plant a small plot of vegetables. How big a plot do you normally give? How big, square feet?
They can get rows.
Okay, they get rows.
The rows are
divided into rows.
75 feet, so you can put a lot on a row.
So, we can work with the county agent and have a program for the kids in high school to learn how to plant, learn how to grow vegetables, fruits, and things like that. I think, if somebody had to tell me to go out there and plant, I don't know if I could. And I used to work a little garden back with my grandparents' house. But anyway, just teach them some of the things other than being on the computer. So, talked about the basketball courts. We're going to resurface those. We've already put up new goals and backboards. Pickleball courts should have been completed today, so those will be available for the public beginning, I would say, Thursday or Friday. And those volleyball courts that you saw in the back there, we're going to make those. We're going to actually put a surface on those, a playing surface on the volleyball nets back there. They're going to be concreted with a playing surface with two official volleyball courts. I know a lot of churches and a lot of other schools that they'll use that. What was back there before was sand and wasn't kept up, and it was horrible. But we're going to redo that. Okay, farmers market we talked about. Okay, I'm going to the school board Thursday evening to their meeting. I'm on the agenda to meet with them about getting them to approve us to be able to take those 2 tennis courts at the junior high, which have never been used for tennis to my knowledge, and convert those to basketball and resurface and put basketball goals up, goals for them, and then come back at some point and cover one of the courts with lights for use down at District 1.
Okay, we have water plant, and water plant, Cornell, you want to update us on the water plant? Where are we at on that, on the construction of our new water plant? And then I'm going to ask you about our water wells that they're working on now.
Good evening. Right now, as far as the water plant expansion goes, they have they have completed the filter beds, putting in the filter media and all that kind of good stuff. Right now, they are actually in the process of building the steel structure for our aerator, basically where the water comes in from the water wells. They actually starting the process on that, and hopefully by June, July maybe, that we'll have that new side up and running. Because the main holdup is the electrical components and stuff. So, I mean, we are all aware of the electrical stuff, in the last few years. So, but I mean, for the most part, we're moving right along. Everything looking pretty good, and I'm looking forward to getting this other side up and running. I'm curious to see how it's going to work. I believe it's going to be perfect.
And then when they get that done, they're going to go in and completely refurb the old part. And so you have basically two sides that are brand new.
Exactly. So, once they get to that point, they're going to take out the old filter meter. They're going to rehab the filter bed, tear the old clarifier down, build a new one. So, I mean, that process, it won't take near as long as it did on the new side, because all the bones and everything is, good shape. So they're just going to kind of do a modification on the old side. So
What year, how old is that plant, Cornell?
That plant was built in 73, 1973. And it was actually redone in 1999. And so
it's time.
It's time. It's past time.
Now, they say we've been working on one of our water wells down at the riverfront. You want to tell them what they're doing down there?
Yes, what they're doing right now, over a period of time, we got really high iron and manganese in our groundwater. And over a period of time, we got to go in and have it serviced, get it all cleaned, and get the screens and stuff cleaned and everything like that. So, I mean, just routine maintenance, but it's looking pretty good. Hopefully they'll be finishing up pretty soon.
Okay. So. All right. Thank you, Cornell.
All right.
And thank you again for the beaver dam. Okay. Next thing I got, DA Big Lane. The bids are supposed to go out by the end of this month for repairing DA Big Lane. So I know the people there and everywhere that travel that road will be glad to hear that. Concordia Avenue, same thing, where they have the sink, the small sinkhole down from the big sinkhole, is that the bids to fix that, make that repair, going to go out by the end of the month. Okay, and I'm going to ask Ms. Pye if she would give us a blighted report on what we've done so far with some of the blighted properties. I know y'all have seen some of these blighted properties go down the last few months.
We started off with 35 properties. Of those 35 properties, we have about 14 of those that have been taken care of. Of those 14, about 12 have been torn down. We do still have some that are, that still have debris on the property, but homeowners are taking care of that to get that pushed to the road so that we can get that picked up.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all for the work you're doing. That's important. The tree project, we had to shut that down temporarily because DEQ came in. The area where we were taking it to save money was our own area where you can have a burn pile, but DEQ came in. You can't have it within so many feet of a residence. And we were right inside, being over that threshold or under that threshold. We're having to move our debris pile, and they're working on doing that now. And next week, the tree project should pick back up, and they'll be able to deliver that there. So that's why we hadn't, finished our tree project. But that will start back next week.
The convention center repairs and improvements have been seen. Anybody's been to our convention center should be able to see that. New base floors, paint floors, not floors, but molding around your base, molding around the bottoms. It really all looks really nice. And we've gotten you some shades in some of the rooms that really get hot from all the sun. The MLK signs, we still haven't come up with a design on that. And I'll be getting with Alderman McCoy and whoever else wants to work on that. And on the Memorial Day Parade marker, whatever we want to call it. It's number one is that we need to get the accurate information, and we got number one, find where that information is. Make sure whatever we put is accurate for dates and times and locations.
I will say, since you brought that up, if you don't mind, I did mention it while I was at the Midwinter Conference to the Lieutenant Governor. This is coming up to be the 160th year annual Memorial Day Parade, and I invited the Lieutenant Governor to the actual parade. So hopefully this year, the fourth Monday in May, if you mark your calendars, we should have a pretty big turnout.
Okay. All right, that completes my reports. Is there any other, I hear a motion to adjourn.
Make that
Motion made by Alderman McCoy here, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Betts. All in favor, say aye. We stand adjourned. Thank y'all very much.